Pokemon. A game known for its fighting. It's 1v1 fighting. Now, how many different real players do you think you can beat at a time in Pokemon? One, maybe two. You think since, double battles are a thing, it's basically just a normal game. Well, I went ahead and challenged myself to test just that. Here's the catch. All of our Pokemon are random. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about what Pokemon Showdown is, but for those of you that haven't, Pokemon Showdown is a battle simulator where you can create your own teams without actually needing to train them. Now the main advantages to this are A, I don't need to own a bunch of Switches, B, I don't need to own a bunch of copies of Pokemon either, and C, I don't need to create a bunch of different teams every single battle. And with that explanation out of the way, let's get to it. Now of course I started simple, with only battling a single person at a time, which, as you would expect, and unfortunately didn't take that long, as was essentially just doing a normal battle of random Pokemon battles. It only took me until my second battle until I won, and I was able to move on to battling two people. But honestly, it could have taken me a lot longer since in the second battle both me and the enemy ran out of HP due to me having a life orb. But hey, the game said I won, so I accepted that as my win and just moved on. So it did only take about 5 minutes. So to start, we're off to a pretty good start. Now for anyone who's with the sped up gameplay and seeing a little bit of myself in the background, it's because I was doing this live over on Twitch, where I am live occasionally. Now here's where the real challenge starts, being battled 2 people at once, which isn't all too different still from the normal game and doing double battles, except now I'm having to split my attention between 2 entirely separate fights, along with now having to fight twice as many people. I was getting to deal with 2 entirely random teams as well that get switched up every time I lose, just to add on to the difficulty. And having to outsmart 2 different people, thought it was going to take a little longer than it honestly did. No, unfortunately it did, again, take me quite longer to get through this set of battles. It took me a whole 9 battles, which surprisingly only took me about 50 minutes to complete. And I gotta say, after it took me that long to complete 2 battles, I wasn't really excited or prepared for what battling 3 people was going to end up being like. Now on to 3. And honestly, the biggest hurdle that came with battling 3 people at once was just trying to fit all of my windows in a way on my screen where I could have all 3 of them visible at once. Are we playing 3 games of Pokemon at the same time?
You already hit me adorableness, but I already understand adorableness.
Am I supposed to even format this? Hold on. Need smaller. Here. Smaller. Smaller. Okay. Alright, we're gonna play 3 games at once. But I decided on just splitting it 3 ways vertically so I could still capture everything. And honestly, when I started this part of the challenge and after the first loss, I was completely mentally prepared to just sit there for hours upon hours, trying to outsmart 3 people, their 18 Pokemon against my 18 Pokemon, my 1 brain cell against their 3 brain cells. But surprisingly, my 1 brain cell decided to eat theirs considering I won after the second battle, and only took about 16 minutes to complete, since I was having to take slightly longer with choosing my moves. Ooh, I might win this. Revelation Dance. Can't hit other Pokemon. Now can, hold on. Hit him with a Psychic, it should kill. We did it. 3 games. Honestly, I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't end up taking longer. I could have farmed a little bit more content out of that, but you know what, I was able to move on. I was able to continue with the challenge. But now onto the real part of the challenge. Going to battle against 4 whole people. To start, this was slightly easier than battling the 3 people at once, since I was able to organize my windows a little easier and see everything slightly more clear due to that. But here's the thing. Not only was I trying to beat 4 people, there has been a time limit in all of these, and the more time I take each turn, or the more time they take each turn, the less time they have next turn. Because if I let that timer drop down to like 15 seconds for example, my next turn has even less time instead of the standard 2 minutes 30 seconds each turn gets. So not only am I trying to beat all 4 of these people at once, I have to beat them as fast as possible so I can spend more time thinking about the other battles. So here I was for almost 2 hours battling over and over again trying to defeat 24 whole Pokemon. And during these battles my brain was going faster than I ever had. It's like Doctor Strange calculating thousands of possibilities every second, trying to find the one where I was able to win. And luckily for me, one of my opponents was completely stupid. I had one against the 3 other people with my only guy, on the bottom left being the last one. A trick choice item on my picture, which locked him into using Shadow Ball, which they might not have noticed, but they still had a Dunsparce on their team, which was not only immune to Shadow Ball, but my picture was terrored into a fighting type, so they didn't even have to worry about the excuse of only having normal moves and being immune to each other. If he switched to Dunsparce, I would have had to switch out and reset my stat bonuses from nasty plots earlier in the game, but after I killed a Scovillian, he just gave up. This man went and gave up. He forfeits. This man could have ruined my entire day if he had kept playing, if he had won as well. But he gave up, as it took to win into 28 battles if they had simply finished me off during that fight. Which honestly I should thank them for that, because this last person, I got 4 people to forfeit, which still counts as a win to me since they did technically lose. Was this man stupid? Hold on.
I don't appreciate you talking to me like that, like right in front of me.
Not you.
Come on. It's 64 degrees out. You think that's hoodie weather?
Yeah. I was wearing a hoodie when it was like 90, so.
Yeah, you're. That used to be me. But,
This man is stupid.
I changed.
I won. I won all 4. This man is stupid. He was stupid. He locked me into a move that I couldn't hit one of his Pokemon with, and he switched into something that I could kill in one shot. Oh my god, I did 4. I won 4.
He mixed up with the mixed up.
They made a forfeit, but it won. So after a whole hour and a half of fighting 4 people, I was able to defeat them. After running my brain on hyperdrive for those 2 hours, I was free. And I could have gone for 5 battles at once. Honestly, I think the hardest part of that would have been managing all 5 windows to try and get them to look proper. And having to manage all 5 of those windows was honestly a scarier thought than having to sit there trying to think of how to beat 5 other people at the same time. So, that concluded the challenge. It took about, a few hours to get around to beating 4 people at once. It did end up taking me... I did it on 2 different days, 2 different streams. And honestly, I'm not sure if I want to try that challenge again, but if I do ever do it again, it's probably going to be me doing double battles instead. So I can have double the amount of Pokemon and double the amount of stress each fight. So hey, if you do want to see that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if the video gets to maybe like 1,000 likes, I'll go ahead and do the 2, random double battles, see if I can beat 4 people at once in that as well. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe go check out one of these other videos as well if you want to go ahead and see more.